Angel. Sorry, I can't do a blood oath.
I love this vibe already. This sort of unhinged, but they're just rolling with it anyway. God, this is refreshing. This is a refreshing character premise already. Wow. Wow, this is how it's done. The same week Disney's bringing out one of their worst looking live action remakes, just a copy and paste of earlier. Now we have DreamWorks showing off what they've been cooking up, and it is demonstrably an absolute animated masterclass, and you can just tell on first impression. A freshly original film, not based off of any books, apparently rooted in Filipino mythology, which I wasn't aware of, with a strong core premise, a focus on character relationships, boosted saturated colors, and a visual style that just keeps giving. This seems like the animated movie to watch this year. DreamWorks really are on top of their game right now with their recent releases like The Wild Robot and Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and this just seems to be a full extension of that, including the same director as Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
I've never had a best friend before. Me neither. Let's go.
Oh, this seems very sweet. From the directors of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Well, that's probably one of the best first impressions you can give for a new animated trailer. One of the best movies of the decade, that is. Now let's see if they're consistent with it. This is Forgotten Island. You can kind of think Mitchells vs. Machines in the visual look. It is very much hopping on that same style that both Sony and DreamWorks have adopted, having a background conflict about going to college, but then striking immediately more so the focus between our two main protagonists. To the point, actually, they almost immediately start off with a crazy montaging choice that they actually put in the marketing. I would not expect to ever see this in a trailer, and I think it's so interesting they actually allowed a shot like this in their first impression.
We're gonna be best friends forever.
Oh, this is visually so interesting. I've never seen this before. Literally just a frame within a frame, a friendship bracelet growing over time. That is bold to put in your marketing material. Like, I could see this being some sort of montage in the middle of the movie, but having the guts to literally just make it visually a circle, a cropped circle in the middle. It's bold. I like it. It's new. It's not a damn Marvel style trailer again. Oh my god. Originality. Consider me hooked. Dude, that was incredible. That was an incredible montage. It's got a little bit of the easygoing pop culture reference for the marketing. You know, the sound design's still very much a trailery trailer. But that was so refreshing. That was so nice. I like that. To me, I think it really speaks to the idea that DreamWorks are pushing the mold right now. They're allowing their animators to actually push forwards with creative, original ideas rather than just slopping out the next generic storyline. What we want to see is some heart at the core of a story, a genuine connection between characters, and something with an emotional swing. And this trailer seems to showcase that this film has all sorts of those from all sorts of angles. Beyond just the fact that we have these two childhood friends who we've already seen grow up together with that one friendship bracelet shot, we then next have them teleported to a magical island world. The Forgotten Island, as it were. Oh, nice. It's Ice Age 3-ing it. Okay. But no, cool. I like it. A hidden, forgotten island with two central friends that don't seem to actually have, like, broken up. They don't need to make amends or anything. They're just getting one last adventure, one last memory before they choose to split up. Nice, cool, classical. But also, so refreshing, original, and can go in so many directions. I'm sold. Oh, and the animals are actually more fantastical. Glowing lights and eyes, love it. Oh, finally, some imagination. Which at first I thought was just the open world for some antics to ensue. And it is, it's an adventure story, sure. Bits are going to happen, you're going to enjoy it one way or another. Both characters already seem incredibly quirky, but that's not even actually the main premise behind this film, because it naturally loops back again to the core of their relationship and their severing. That is unfortunately quite relatable for anyone choosing to move or go into higher education. It's a good classic standard for that to happen. It is the natural distancing of long-term friends. That alone is an emotional chord string you can pluck away at.
But hey, we made some good memories.
Interesting. This trailer so far has so heavily pushed on the relationship between two characters rather than the plot for the whole first 50 seconds, that tells me that this is a story that's actually going to care about its characters. It is the premise itself. The story is the relationship. That's just a sign of damn good writing. But then, Forgotten Island adds one other premise to this island, and that is the fact that the longer you are here, the more you lose your memories. Clearly one of the central themes that pieces together these two characters. It is a beautiful conflict to put against these two, and I'm just immediately hooked. I can't really understate it enough.
The more memories you'll forget.
Oh, that's a good premise to put in the middle of this. Okay, now I'm extra on board. It's not just they go on one last adventure, one last memory. Staying here could very well become their last memory. This is just solid. All of the moving pieces behind this premise are great, imaginative ideas, well written at its core with the relationship at the center of it, and with the perfect conundrum for specifically who these characters are and how they act. Mwah! It's a masterclass in waiting. When I got the notification for this trailer on my phone, I assumed it was like, it's kind of maybe another DreamWorks TV show kind of idea. Islands and kids. That's not a good look. But with each unveiling beat that I saw in this trailer, I just got more and more of the idea that this is perfectly written together, like a beautiful bow that locks it all in. It seems like it's just narratively doing everything right, and that's amazing to get that impression from a first trailer. And even beyond just aesthetics, the concept of a post-it note pair of wings is just perfect. Extra imaginative creativity added on top of this stylized Puss in Boots Spider-Verse inspired look just brings it all together. Chromatic aberration on that portal that she's jumping out of, apparently. Also, she's jumping out of a portal in this shot. Hey there, thank you for making it to the halfway mark of this video. Come subscribe if you haven't already for more animated movie trailers. We're gonna have the worst of the worst with live action Moana from Disney, or apparently some of the best this year with DreamWorks' Forgotten Island. Thank you for joining along, and now to the second half of this old feast. And that's why they've got that song, Don't You Forget About Me. Oh man, taking on such a classic, emotionally swinging concept. The same kind of things that have been touched upon by Pixar's Coco and Clannad as well, if you think about it that way. Oh man, this is gonna be a good one. It is still a pop culture reference, but I get why they chose it. Usually first trailers are just a visual nod to what you could expect to see and the general tone and vibe, but the tone and vibe that comes out of this is just narrative flourish. On top of everything else as well. Visually, this whole damn thing looks immaculate. I don't really have any criticisms on any spin, other than the fact that I can see references to other things that also might be accidents.
Place. The longer you're here.
This visually also feels very K-pop Demon Hunters. Again, I get a lot of Sony vibes because, I mean, it makes sense. Why wouldn't you be? But that monster in particular, that's just a K-pop Demon Hunters monster. Not the worst reference material to go for. You know, the Golden song on YouTube has 3 times the views as Frozen's Let It Go song. So no wonder there being somewhat, even if accidentally it overlaps, a referential point. It is pretty K-pop Demon Hunters, isn't it? Whilst at the same time, a lot of it just comes with the style and very clearly doesn't fail. There's a good chunk of Spider-Verse specific looking things where we change aesthetics for a specific sequence and it just keeps looking good. I fall for it every time. Once again as well, there's so many frame-by-frame elements you can pick up. Love, like, with the electrical pylon, the outlines of lighting. I guess it kind of is lighting, yeah, but the way it goes specifically on the outlines of the building. You've got, of course, a very sketchy running over the tables aesthetic. They're trying to commandeer this Spider-Verse style, and it just bloody well works, doesn't it? But then even beyond specifically feeling like a Spider-Verse thing, there is clearly a flourish of originality added on top of this that you just don't see anymore, or you certainly don't seem to see as unabashedly as this. Like, post-it note wings? That's crazy good. The characters seem immediately interesting, quirky, and with great chemistry. I love the opening with slightly unhinged child on the left. And you can bet that when it comes around to getting into the meat of the story and we get into dream sequences and going through their memories together, it's just such a visual treat. I came into this with absolute zero expectations. I thought it'd be just a run-of-the-mill trailer, a classic and standard. But no, this looks to me like possibly the movie I am most excited to see this year. Other than Moana live action, ironically. Speaking of ironically, I do actually get a bit of a Moana vibe from the blue magic next to the water, but I don't know what else they could do there. And then the antics can ensue, of course. Has to happen eventually, even if it's pretty undefinitive right now. The blue magical Moana water is here. The trailer is both bold in some of the shots it chooses to include, but also a little bit classic trailery in the fact that it has an 80s style music just slapped on top. But it is also lyrically intuned into the storyline. Honestly, it's the closest thing to a real criticism I have, and even then, it's not the end of the world. And the trailer ends off with a Baha Men reference of all things, which I don't think I can call a pop culture reference of the modern day, so maybe that makes it okay? Sure.
Hey, it's okay. Listen to me, Risa.
Who are you?
Who let the dogs out?
Certainly not a modern reference, but maybe that makes sense. But if anything, that makes it feel more normal. A real memory that these two characters have actually had, rather than just hopping on the most relevant topical thing. At least she didn't say, oh, you know, pink pony god, you know? And even that's outdated now. What is it now? All I can think of is Amazing Digital Circus. Be very surprised if she whipped that one out. Actually, you know what this really is? This is just another spin on Staying Alive, I guess. Instead of CPR to the beat of Staying Alive, it's who let the dogs out to breathe properly during an anxiety attack. I'm learning a lot out of these pop culture reference picks. I'm just enthralled by this movie, which is a big leap forwards from how I was about an hour ago. And I think it's just so funny that it's literally one day after what is possibly the worst looking Disney movie in years that DreamWorks is showing truly how they are on top. It is still a modern DreamWorks movie, which means all of its animation has been outsourced long by this point, but it seems clearly, quality-wise, it doesn't seem to make a difference. All of Illumination stuff is outsourced anyway. So I guess that argument is unfortunate, but kind of gone now. At least when it comes to the final results and quality.
We gotta find her way back home.
Oh man, I can't wait to see these kind of memory dream sequences with modern animation flourishes and writing. This alone just looks stunning with the glass smashing everywhere. Oh, this is gonna be such a feast for the eyes. I can already tell. Whilst on the other side of things, it's really nice to see a Filipino-inspired story that's so clearly personal and original. I'm not familiar with mythology in the Philippines. I don't know if it's the concept of the island or the bird that showed up. I'll definitely do more research by the time the next trailer comes up or when the movie comes out. But again, it's great to see that real human representation, and it seems to be a real human story behind it as well.
This is our entire friendship.
Wow, and the friendship bracelet is literal. It's actually literally on their arm. Oh, they just love when sometimes you can just immediately see a masterpiece. All they have to do now is nail the execution. And this is the Puss in Boots' last wish, people. Well-informed, baked into nostalgia and memories and connection. A feast for the eyes, brilliant narrative execution. What more is there to ask for an animated movie? Far from the slop that's usually being fed to kids these days. Ooh, nice, loving the exclamation mark. Very classically Sony, but actually it's DreamWorks. Mitchells vs. Machines coded, but by the studio that did Puss in Boots instead. Could this actually be a DreamWorks movie trying to make you cry? Possibly. And that's the best goal an animated movie can really strive for. I'm sold. I'm hooked. I'm probably not going to stop singing its praises unless I cut things off early here. And even then, I've been rambling for a good half an hour about this thing, so I'll finally put a pin in it there. For now, my name's been Daz. Thank you very much for reaching the end of this video. What a pleasure to have this one rolled out in front of me. Do tell us your thoughts on all things Forgotten Island. I'd love to hear all your thoughts and more. But otherwise, I shall see you all in a little bit. Cheerio.